I am a freedom junkie. These aren't my words. These are the words. I'll tell you who they are in a second, and I'll tell you how to make that useful. Actually, I'll tell you right now. It's from David Allen, the author of Getting Things Done, which is a tremendous book. And I apologize for a bit of name dropping here. I was at a book opening, a book release party for one of my mentors, Marshall Goldsmith. It was actually at the Four Seasons Hotel. He's a really classy guy. And I'm at this book opening, and I'm talking to this guy, and I say, "What's your name?" And he goes, "David Allen." And I think it's too common of a name. I don't really think much of it. And I say, "I don't know, we're talking." I'm like, "What do you do?" And he says, "Well, I wrote this book, Getting Things Done." So I say to him, "Oh man, so many people I know have read that book that I had to read it." So I read it. But I confess, and it took me, I had to go back and forth on whether to say this to him or not. But I said, I read it, and I thought to myself, I know my priorities pretty well, and I live by my priorities. That is, I do what's important, and then I get to the next most important thing, and I feel like I'm pretty productive. And this book is The Art of Stress-Free Productivity. And he says, and I don't remember exactly how he said it, but I'll say it the best I remember it. He said, a lot of people think it's about productivity, and it is. It's good for that. But he said, I'm a freedom junkie. The book is about freedom. And why it's on my mind right now is that I just got this email, and I'm not too happy with this email. It made me very frustrated. Not very frustrated. It made me frustrated. And like many people, I wanted to react in the moment. I'm like, I'm going to react to this person. And I thought, I've known enough times that I've reacted in the moment and regretted it, so I knew not to do that. So now I have this thing that's come into my life. And I'll tell you how I've implemented Getting Things Done in this particular moment, is that I asked, can I act right now? No, I can't act right now. So one thing you can do is act in the moment. If you can get this thing done in, say, 2 minutes, act on it, get rid of it, and then you're done. The other thing is, can I get rid of this thing? Now, I can't get rid of it because it's an important email. So, but that's the next thing you do, is get rid of things if you can, if it's something you're never going to act on. So I couldn't. So the next thing is, I want to act on this, but not now. So without even thinking about it, I put on my calendar a date 3 weeks from today, and put a reminder that I know will come up that says, have you acted on X? And I put a few notes to say what I wanted to say that I thought in the moment. And then with the email, I know exactly where to put the email and which folder to put it in, and I know exactly where to look for it. And that is living by Getting Things Done. It's just part of it. I'm not going to go through the whole book. But that's the big thing about Getting Things Done that I learned is, well, first, step by step, if something comes into your life, and things constantly come into your life, there's 4 things that in my checklist of things is: 1, can I act on it in the moment and get rid of it? And if I do, then I'm free to do what I was doing before. Or in this case, do what I want to do, which is talk to you guys. 2, can you absolutely get rid of it and never think about it again? In this case, I couldn't, but if you can get rid of things, get rid of things. And there's so many things. I delete emails faster than I ever did before because I know just get rid of it. Next is, if you're going to act on it, have a system where you know that a reminder will come to you, that you never have to worry. You know for sure it will come to you. And I carry my laptop with me all the time. I know that my calendar will remind me. And the last thing is a filing system where you know that you can get the information that you need. And so that enabled me to get this thing that, in another time, before this, I would have thought, I would have been frustrated. That frustration would have stuck with me until I acted on it. And now I know that at some time in the future, I will get a reminder, and I will not have to think about it between now and then. I'm free to talk to you guys more calmly than I would have otherwise. I'm free to get back to what I was doing beforehand. And that's what David Allen's brought to me, and that's why I don't recommend a lot of things, but I do recommend this book. As far as I know, I think it came out in 2001, so it's now 15 years later, and as far as I know, no book has replaced it in otherwise, I understand, pretty crowded market. So I recommend being a freedom junkie.